Okay, guys, that last video that we did on is carrying a gun a hobby? CCW, is it a hobby? I don't think so. Some of the best comments that I have heard on any video off my channel so far. You guys were awesome. You knocked it out of the ballpark. And hopefully we can do that on where we're going with this one too. So, two things. One, every time I say count it, because I have got to stop doing that. I sound like a freaking moron. So count that and tell me how many times I say it, starting now. But a couple things I do want to mention before we get into this next video. Remember, today is the 7th. So a week from today is Valentine's Day, and that is the day that we all need to go to Starbucks and do our boycott, as it's been said. Remember that anti-gun group, the National Gun Victims Action Council, or whatever it's called, or Association Council, or whatever. They're initiating a nationwide boycott of Starbucks on that day. We as gun owners need to go to Starbucks, buy something to offset that boycott. The reason we're doing that, guys, is because Starbucks has a policy that they follow whatever the state laws are. If you live in a state that allows open carry, you can open carry inside of a Starbucks. If you live in a state that allows concealed carry, you conceal carry. They don't care. This anti-gun group is trying to make Starbucks an or a gun-free zone. And we need to voice our opposition to that the best we can, and that is one of the ways we can do that is to go to Starbucks and buy something the day that they're trying to boycott it. I've been to Starbucks in 3 years, but I'm damn sure going next Tuesday. I hope you do too. If you make videos, guys, I know a lot of y'all have mentioned this. I've seen them. Please, please, please mention this. Get this word out as best we can, because I guarantee you that this group has not been on national media or national news station somewhere talking about their boycott of Starbucks between now and next Tuesday. They will. I'll almost be willing to bet a month's pay that they'll be on there running their mouth about it, and the only way that we're going to know to go there and buy is by us. So we need to spread the word around, get it out to as many people as possible. Swing by there, buy a cup of coffee. If you don't like coffee, get hot chocolate. If you don't like that, get a cookie, a donut, a banana nut bread, what the hell ever. It doesn't matter. Just go buy something. I'm going to swing by on the way into work next Tuesday morning. So go do something and let's support them. Now, a lot of people are saying get a $2 bill because it depicts the signing of the Declaration of Independence on the back. That's fine. If you can do that, great. Do that. Swing by the bank and pick one or two of those up. But even if you can't, just go buy something, and let's show our support for that. Now, there's one right there. Moron. You had to shoot. What happens then? What happens in the aftermath after the shoot? A lot of things can go on. If you've never been in the position before, guys, where you've had to pull a firearm on another human being, I can tell you from experience, you don't want to do it. I'm not saying you don't do it because, even if your life is in danger, by all means. But it's not something you want to do. It's not something you're going to want to relish. And a lot of people have this mentality of like, well, I have no trouble. I'll pull a firearm and defend anybody or my family at all costs, which no doubt in my mind, that's what your intention is. Believe me, when it comes time to pull that trigger on another human being, it's not like shooting a deer. It's just not. So, what's going to go on? What happens after you have to shoot? Well, the first thing you need to do, you had to pull your firearm and defend yourself. You need to keep a presence of mind about you. Remember, until it can be proven that that shoot was justified, you're legally at risk for a lot of stuff. Okay? So you have to make sure that you try to keep as much wits about you as you can. Collect your thoughts. Even before you call 911, kind of go over in your mind what happened. Secure the area, number one, by all means. But go over in your mind exactly what you're going to say. All right? And you do need to be the one calling 911. You don't need to let somebody else call them. And I mean, they may call it if it was in a public area. There's probably going to be several calls, but you need to make a call to 911 too. All right, and it's best for you to do that, because that way, you know, details don't get distorted or confused. Facts and all that don't get mixed in with it, so you'll know what's going on. When you do call them, try to remain as calm as possible. I mean, you got to remember, you're going to be excited. Adrenaline's going to be pumping. You're probably going to be, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff going through your mind, but try to remain as calm as possible. And you need to clearly state that you were attacked by an armed suspect or an armed attacker, and that you're requesting the police and an ambulance because the suspect has suffered a gunshot wound. Don't say, "I shot the guy." I do not recommend saying that. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. You don't want to say that unless, so at all possible to say that he has suffered a gunshot wound. Now when that happens, they're already going to know that a gun was fired. So when they send the police out, they're going to say possible gun shooting. Probably is what they're going to say. So the police are going to show up expecting the absolute worst. So another thing you're going to want to do, and do not ever, and don't do this until the police arrive, make sure you stay on the line. They're probably going to request that you stay on the line anyway, but definitely try to stay on the line until the police get there. Because everything's going to be recorded. All of this stuff's going to be recorded. It's going to be used back on you. So keep in mind that everything you say is going to be recorded. The sound of your breathing, the tone of your voice, the words you choose are going to be listened to many, many times. Okay? So be aware of that. Just kind of try to keep your wits and try to remain as calm as possible. Okay? If you can, secure your weapon before the police arrive. Once you secure the area and you make sure that you or your family is safe, if your family was around, you were defending them, secure your weapon and have your identification ready. If you have a concealed carry license, make sure you have that ready. Along with your driver's license, make sure you have your ID ready to go. And remember also, police, when they show up, they're going to come flying in there. I mean, there may be 2 or 3 of them coming in with sirens blaring, guns drawn. They're going to be coming in an overwhelming force. And that is an attempt to make sure that the area is as secure as possible. They're going to try to lock down everything, and they're going to try to secure the area as efficiently and as quickly as they know how. They're going to get control of the situation. Let them. Okay? You're probably going to be treated like a suspect. Don't take it personal. If you're told to get out on the floor in a prone position, you're put in handcuffs, whatever. If you're put in the back seat of a patrol car, if you're out in public, does not matter. Okay? But pay attention, cooperate, and be prepared for anything. Okay? Just understand that they are going to get control of the situation as soon as possible. Okay? Your physical behavior is going to be big, and all that stuff's going to be used against you. So you need to keep that in your mind. So when they come up, you don't want to be standing over them with a smoking gun. Get away from them as best you can. If you're in your home, move your family, if your family's at home, into a safer area of the house, inside or outside. Either one, doesn't matter. Get them away from it. Okay? If you can, like I said, secure your weapon and holster it, reholster it, and have it ready and have it there when they get there. Do that. Okay? But keep aware of where it is at. Okay? Be very, very aware of your firearm and what you're doing with it. Don't, whatever you do, don't sit there and smart off, well, some bitch had it coming to and broke into my house, I shot the bastard. Like I said, do not say, I shot somebody. Do not do that. When you initially questioned by the police, you got to think real carefully about what you're going to say, because you're probably going to be read your Miranda rights, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, so be very, very, very well aware of that. Okay? And if you, one of the things that I can tell you that you do need to make sure you tell them, you say, well, why'd you shoot the guy? I was in fear of my life. I defended myself. I was in fear of my life. That needs to go. And if I were you, at that point, it might be best for you to say, I would rather not say anything else until I speak with my lawyer, but be very respectful about it. Decline any written or verbal statements, okay, but decline it in a very respectful manner. Just tell them that you intend to cooperate fully, but you know you've been through a traumatic event, and you would just like to make sure that you have your lawyer with you, so that they can understand the situation as well. Very, very simple. Very simple. Just keep your wits about you. Don't be disrespectful. Remember, you didn't fire a warning shot. You didn't shoot to kill. You fired your weapon at another human being for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is stop an attack on you, or what you perceive to be a deadly attack. You took that action because you were in fear of your life, or in fear of your life of your family member. That's what you got to be remembered. And that's going to be played back many, many times. That question is probably going to be asked to you in several different manners, several different ways. Okay? The one overwhelming thing you need to remember, I was in fear of my life, or I was in fear of the life of my family. Okay? So just be very, very aware of all of this stuff. And like I said, that's probably a good reason to have a lawyer with you at all costs. So there's a lot of mental and emotional things that go through your mind. Like I said, if you've never been in that position before, it's very, very difficult for you to sit there and say, well, I would do this or I would do that. You may like to believe you would do this or do that, and maybe you would. And there are those out there that have been in similar situations, or situations in their life where they can be pretty certain of what they would do. You've never been in a situation like that. It's nice to think you would know what to do, but you really don't know until it's there. So what do? We train. You practice it. You practice drawing your holster. You practice defensive shoots. If it's at all possible to do a tactical range, do a tactical range. You see some of these channels out there that do tactical defensive shoots. Fix one up. Okay? If your range has one, use it. If they will allow you to make one, use it. Okay? You're not going to be standing there with a target 10 yards away from you trying to hit a bullseye. You got to shoot and move. And you just need to be very, very well aware of it. Now guys, this is by all means not a complete list of what you need to be aware of. This is just a basic things of what to look for whenever this situation comes up. You can think of some other ones. This is where I need your help. Comment in on it. Let us know. Excuse me. If you have unfortunately been involved in a shooting and you have experience in this area, please tell us about it. Please tell us about it. I mean, you know, that's what we're all about here, is to teach, learn, and we try to have a good time doing it. But we have to learn as well, and so you can teach by giving your experience. By all means, do it. So comment on this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Now, we're going to wrap this thing up with this little series that I'm doing here next time around with some gun myths. Some of them are going to be kind of comical. Some of them are going to be flat out stupid. But you would not believe some of them out there. But we're going to kind of get into how you can kind of debunk them a little bit. And so some of the things that you can that you need to be aware of. And some of the stuff that's going to be pulled on you and how you might answer them. So we're going to get into that next time a little bit. And again, it's just going to be a touch of it. But we'll give you some areas to go where you can learn some more of that if you want to. That's all I got for this time around, guys. Remember, next Tuesday. I will mention this in my next video, which will be in a few days, Chuck. I promise. It will be before next Tuesday. So we'll continue on with it there. That's all I got for now, guys. See ya.